What's going on, people? I am in Nairobi, Kenya. I'm jet lagged. It is 12:45 a.m. Technically, it's Tuesday. I was locked down all day because of the protests, so I didn't really go outside. I haven't done anything, and it's cold here. Um, that's crazy. I've never been cold out here. You see I didn't unpack or nothing. We'll see if anybody hops on. I was watching some of the. Oh shoot! Let me mic up real quick. What's going on? 1 second. This will help the audio quality. Mic check. Okay, this should be better. Oh, I haven't tested this setup yet, so let me know. Any rioting going on? I'm inside. I don't hear nothing. A lot of the protests and stuff are limited to certain areas. Although when I got into the airport and then I was taking the Uber from the airport to Kilimani, I was seeing the police building the barricades, and that was like 1 a.m. There were spike strips on the road and everything. I wonder how my connection is. I'm talking to Kai, so I'll be at Sarit tomorrow. So I haven't done anything. I just ate some food. I haven't unpacked. I failed my mission because I was planning on staying up until tonight, but I fell asleep all day. So now I'm up. It's going to be 1 a.m. I'm going to try to rough it tomorrow and wake up 7, 8, 9, go to the gym, get to work, because basically I run at this Airbnb for a week, and I have my 2-bedroom property. This is not the place that I purchased. This is the Airbnb. This is in Kilimani. I actually run it the wrong one because there's one on the 18th floor and there's one on the 3rd floor. But the 18th floor one is booked up all the way to August, which I actually found interesting as far as the real estate pricing the vacancy rates and everything, because there were a lot of units available, but that 18th floor is rented out for the next month or so. So that's interesting as far as like the vacancy rates, which has become probably the biggest thing that I've been worried about on the real estate side. But yeah, so I didn't really have an agenda today. I'm just talking to you guys, but I think everything should be back to normal tomorrow. So I'll probably go to the mall. I have 3 phones. I have my normal iPhone. I have a phone that I bought here last time I was here that has my M-Pesa and everything hooked up to it. Which if you travel to Kenya and don't get a Safaricom line and M-Pesa, you're crazy. I've been inspired to make a video about taking Ubers here because I see a lot of other content creators talk about the Ubers complaining, and I have the solution. And I know how all this stuff works, okay? So I'm going to make a video about that. I still got to make the video about why I'm moving to Kenya. Mark West, what's going on, man? How are you? I know you're in town. I was going to hit you up, but the protests and all that, and then I've been sleeping. What's going on, man? How's your time going so far? Um, what was I gonna say? I'm all jet lagged, guys. It's tough because actually, so I'm coming from the East Coast of the U.S., and when you come to Nairobi, it's an 8-hour difference, and it's probably the worst time jump because it's like you're inverting your time that you're awake. One weekend, loving it. Hey, that's good. Have you had any issues with Uber? Are you using M-Pesa? You are using M-Pesa. Did we talk about it? I think we did. So my plan, anyway, I have 3 phones. I got a Safaricom line. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Because they made fun of my phone when I went to, they made fun of my phone when I went to Safaricom when I had an issue. This is my Safaricom phone, and it was 12,000 shillings, which is like, was it 12,000? It might have been like 8,000. I feel like it was like 40 US dollars to get this phone. Oh, and Pesa with Uber, all good. Yeah, see, that's what we're going to talk about that. So I got this phone when I was here, but this phone, if you press a button, takes like 2 seconds for it to come up, whatever you press, and then it crashes. But this is how I pay for things with M-Pesa and with your bank account and a lot of stuff. And Uber goes to this phone and my data plan. But I have another iPhone because my normal iPhone is locked because I'm still paying for it. So you can't unlock it. I've tried everything to get it unlocked. So I have another iPhone and I want to transfer the SIM from here to here on the eSIM. And I don't know if you can do that. So we're going to find that out. Then I'm going to go to the property I'm purchasing. I'm going to look at furniture as well. I'm trying, okay. So I need the so I got to do the handover at the property I'm purchasing in Kilimani, but I need to furnish it so that I don't have to keep staying at Airbnbs, which I didn't make the bed, but I'm about to go sleep there eventually. I'm just trying to get tired, so I figured I'd hang out with you guys. I got to look at the camera, huh? All right, West Coast to Kenya is even harder. Yeah, that's tough. This is probably like 8, 9, 10, it's 11 or 12 hours. I know you're jet lag. We appreciate you doing a live. I've been watching so much Kenny content. Hey, yeah, I figured we're kind of locked down, although I think everything's okay, but I know there's probably rubble and stuff in the CBD and stuff. I don't know if the roads around here have any issues, but it should be fine tomorrow, I think, for me to go to Westlands anyway. But yeah, so the journey that I'm going to be on is furnishing. Sorry, guys, the internet. So there's so many things to talk about. In a lot of these buildings, you can pick different service providers and you can pick your internet speed. I only have like 8 megabits download speed right now, so it's really crappy. But the higher premium speeds that you could pay for are actually good internet speeds, but because it's Airbnb, it's so cheap. So I have to deal with the slow internet until I'm able to get my place because I'm not dealing with trying to get faster internet while I'm here. Let me know, is it choppy? Do I sound good? You know, I like to have good production value, even though I'm traveling at the moment or just getting set up. Anyway, I could just go to the mall and buy all the furniture, but there's like on Gong Road, there's a road out here, there's all these furniture places where they'll make furniture. But as a foreigner and a light-skinned person that's clearly a foreigner, I feel like they're going to try to get me on the prices. So I'm trying to find a connect to buy furniture. The cool thing is you can get everything. Like when I was at the mall, when you look at stuff, they're like, hey, if you like this, we have different materials and we can make it with these materials. And there's a bunch of options. Oh, not choppy at all. That's crazy. Okay. Nice. What's up, Craig? So I'm trying to, because I think the mall is probably double the price for the same thing that I could get if I find the right Furniture Connect. So my plan is to find the Furniture Connect. So I got to ask a lot of people and see, but someone will recommend a furniture person, but are they to the standard that you would want? Because I want some like my back, I need a nice bed for sure. I need a nice sturdy couch as well. And my friends with Troy White, he's definitely the connect. No, I never met Troy. And I know he's from Philly though. Yeah, he might have somebody. You know, I do my own thing. I don't know, but I will take, if someone gives me a recommendation. But I guess I'll make a video about buying furniture because that's the problem. Like, if I was a local Kenyan, I'd probably just be able to do this a lot easier. But you have to know that you're a foreigner when you try to do stuff. If you're in that haggling situation, they're going to think you're dumb because a lot of people are not good at this. So you got to fight that fight. So that's the plan for tomorrow is get um, my phones, like all these phones. This is crazy. But I brought a. What do you guys think about a man bag? Okay, I've been fighting the man bag, but I carry my camera and I carry my passport and all that kind of stuff when I'm going around. And I need more space, and my pockets are bulged out. I already look crazy. But the man bag, really? I don't know. They look awkward to me, but I did get one. I got a real small one though. Cause they make some. I wanted to get like a Burberry one or something like a designer one, but they're too big. Like I don't want all that. Matt, what's going on, bro? Yeah, but I'm out here. I need something. How do you carry your stuff? A backpack that looks even more. I don't want to look like a tourist. You see someone. Kai wears a backpack around. I'm like, nah, looking like a schoolboy or something. If anybody wants, oh, let me drop the link. If y'all want to hang out with me, you can click the link. I'm just out here chilling. My eyes look red. They look red. It's kind of chilly. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, true though. I feel you. Yeah, I've been fighting the man bag, but when you're traveling, and then okay, I don't have a car, so if I go somewhere, like if I go to, I got to get protein powder, right? Before I waste away, because don't tell anyone, but I'm vegetarian, okay? And so I definitely need protein. How am I gonna carry it? Because then I want to go somewhere else. Now that's not gonna fit in the bag anyway, but I don't want to carry a backpack and look like a tourist. It's not good. There's not good solutions for this problem. It's not good solutions. So jacket cold or hoodie cold. I don't think it ever gets jacket cold. I actually think it's colder inside than it is outside. But these concrete buildings, and then it's pretty much hardwood and stuff, or like a vinyl floor and tiles, so they just stay cold. What the hell? Go with the man bag, just avoid the fanny pack. But I gotta look cool, man. Now I gotta figure out how to put my outfit together with this bag. Ugh, I don't like things. Like one thing about me, if I have stuff I don't use, I throw it out or get rid of it. Yep. It's chilly in Nairobi. It's the cold season. So when Kenyans be like, it's cold, I always look at the temperature and the low might be 55 degrees, and I'm like, that is not cold. But now, meanwhile, I'm over here feeling kind of chilly. Just do it then while you're there. Yeah, that's true. I know. The life of doing YouTube, huh? Because you got to carry all these devices and the camera I'm using right now, and maybe even my laptop and batteries and your wallet. So I don't know. Yeah, because I'll be seeing them in jackets and trying to figure out. Okay, it'll be 90 degrees and Kenyans will have jackets because they'll get cold if so. If the high is 85 and the low is 70, which is kind of typical in Nairobi in January, February time, you'll still see Kenyan people with their jackets, like a leather jackets. The boda drivers, they got 8 layers on. You'll never see someone wear shorts ever. Maybe in Mombasa, but you will not see people wear shorts. You're proud of me? Thank you. Stay up and be safe. Yes, sir. You too. I hope all is well. I'm out here for a long time. I didn't really tell a lot of people I was coming. I told the internet. Yeah, it's funny. YouTube, no one that knows me in real life looks at my YouTube. So my Instagram is like a whole different thing. So it's funny because around this time at night is when everyone from the US wants to contact me. Okay. Yeah. When I got to figure out when the race course situation is going on because that's one of the best events in Nairobi. Are you going to interview Khalees? Um, I would, I guess. Yeah. I, I don't know. I just do my thing, and if I encounter people or stuff happens, then it'll happen. But I think I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to be too cool, but I'm just me. I'm doing me. I'm not trying to, you know, reach out and do all that stuff. Plus, I want to ask her some real stuff about the blowback that she's getting because she hasn't responded to any of that about the land. I'm curious about how she feels about that. I think that I've watched so many documentaries, I've read so much stuff about the different presidents in Kenya, the history, pre-colonialization, colonization, and now post-colonization. What Saba Saba Day is, which that has to do with the second president Moi. Um, some of the tribal stuff, like I've been doing a lot of research on like why things or their perspectives, because the land thing is tied into all that, which I actually think I have a pretty good understanding, but I probably refer people to some other videos versus me trying to explain it. And then it drags you into getting into politics. I'm not trying to do all that at this point. I just got here, so don't kick me out. You know, what area in Nairobi is on lockdown? Um, it's weird because usually the CBD is the area that's going on, but apparently Gongtown, Kitengela, like some of the towns were having the biggest clashes. I think what happened was that the police and the military did a really good job of blocking off the CBD and people went elsewhere. Plus, the SGR train from Mombasa was suspended uh, last night. And from what I was told, there's people that would come even from the coasts to come protest, and they'll take the train. So I think the combination of the different tactics that were used, the rain, the difficulty of the transportation, I don't think there was a lot going on in Nairobi and CBD, but a lot of businesses were closed or they were not delivering, and the streets were obstructed. So, like, I tried to order dinner from CJ's in Kilimani, which isn't that far from here, and they weren't delivering, even though they normally would deliver in this area. So, I think a lot of the towns got it worse. I saw a lot of videos from Gongtown, and I actually know some people out there. And while I was FaceTiming them, there was shooting going on. PC, oh my God, me too. I saw a great documentary on what happened right after independence and the different family. Is this the one that just came out? Because man, that guy, that was a really good video. It was like 45 minutes. Freight independence that own land, and now I see why some people are angry with foreigners by in such huge amounts. Yeah, because then the first ruling class of people, the political class, acquired land that may or may not, that is kind of contested by people that they don't feel is fair. So then if you buy the land from them, so and I'm not saying the property's stolen at all, but what I'm trying to say is, like, if somebody takes property or acquires property in a way that people don't think is right, and then you buy that property from them, it's a messy situation. It's not like the end buyer meant to cause any harm, because maybe they're not aware of any of that, but now they have the land and people are upset. So it was very that I should find the video. Maybe I'll make like a community post about it later. Dennis, welcome back, Ryan. By tomorrow, Tuesday, the city will have cooled down. Yeah, I was hoping so. It's crazy they'll be able to clear it up that fast, because I know all them rocks and everything everybody's throwing is all on the street. But it seemed more calm today than June 25th, of course. But yeah, but I get the protests. Like, I'm not complaining at all. I understand. So that's not a complaint that, oh, there's protests, I can't go enjoy stuff. That's not my attitude. So yeah, damn, my back is hurt. So I normally fly to London, and that's like an 8-hour flight, and then I fly to Nairobi, but this time I went to Qatar, which, thank goodness, they weren't tripping, nothing was flaring up over there again, because I almost had to cancel last time. But it's 15 hours, which the first time ever I had a premium economy, because I've been doing credit cards points and stuff with my business. I run all my business expenses through my Amex business card, and I have an American Airlines business card, and I got like 500,000 points so far in probably about a year. And it was 100,000 points. And for the first time ever, I flew premium economy, not business class, not first class, but that was worth it. Okay. It was 20,000 more points, and the seat was bigger. They gave you a menu. The food was a little better. They give you a little bit more stuff, but the seat, oh, thank goodness, much better. But then my flight to Qatar, I was in the middle with 4 people, and the guy next to me was just touching my arm the whole time, and he was trying to spread his legs. We were having a battle secretly. I started sweating on his arm because his arm was touching my arm, even though I'm sitting like this, and his arm's on me. I refused to move. Okay, that was the little battle I had. But you can never complain about air travel because you get to fly through the air across the world. People, it would take months to be able to do that back in the day. And a couple of people might die on the travels, you know, you could get bit by a snake or drown or something. So to be able to travel across the world so fast, I'm not complaining. Not at all. What's going on, people? I'm just on here because I can't go to sleep at the current moment, and there's not a lot going on. I was actually I was editing some projects. I got all these video projects that I ended up getting at the last minute before I came, so I was trying to edit them. Are you guys able to work on the plane? Because I told myself, oh, I'll edit these videos on the plane. No, couldn't do it. Dang, and there's a lot of stuff I got to do. And since I've been here, I've been thinking about what I want to say in my video that I'm going to make about why I'm moving to Kenya. And I still am having trouble. What's up, Kai? You should hop on, man. I don't know you're not jet lagged, so there he is, the man, the legend. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know. I'll be up your way. Well, isn't it a coincidence that it's so crazy how the world works? Because how do you meet someone from across the world in the same place, you know, and doing the same things that you're doing? Ain't that crazy? So crazy. Dang, I kind of want to find that video because if you're interested in Kenya's history, that guy explained what happened after independence really well. Okay. Why am I on lockdown? It's not really lockdown. It's just not advisable to be out on the street because there's a protest that was going on today. So I don't want to be around the protests. And the roads get blocked off. So when there's protests, they usually block off certain roads, the main roads into the central business district and such. And so if you're trying to travel, you could get obstructed or get stuck somewhere. So better to stay inside for sure. Dang, what's going on, people? There's 7 people on Facebook in here. What's up, Facebook people? Say something if you're in here. There's someone on Twitch. What? Jesse, what's going on? Business class is worth every penny on those long international flights. So as a veteran, I'm like built to travel horribly. And so spending money on like a couple hours experience, I'm like, like if it depends on the cost. The premium economy is good because I don't think it's that much more. It may be because I paid with points, so I'm not sure the dollar cost difference. But I've ridden on C-130s with full body armor and everything, and it is not pressurized. And I'm sitting on a cargo net next to a whole bunch of other sweaty people for hours over the desert. Okay, so whatever, you know. So like if it's like $5,000, you could buy some land. Can you buy land with $5,000? How much is $5,000 in shillings, right? Let's see. What? 5,000. That's 650,000 shillings. I think there's some land you could probably buy. You could probably buy some plots for 5K. So I'd rather buy some land that I have forever than have a good flight experience, to be honest. But that's how my crazy brain works. The party can come to you, bro. Members only. Members only. Especially Qatar business class in Doha Airport. Yo, Qatar was hot as hell for the 2 hours I was there. Oh my goodness. But yeah, their business class looked nice. That little suite thing that you can get. See, Griffin, what's going on? Oh, there we go. I'm back. Get SM time to relax on real estate. Get some tips to use Mansa Plus. Okay. Check it out. I'll check it out. I got time. I got time. Mansa Plus. So in one sense, it's really good to have locals to talk to about certain things, but they can do stuff that you can't do as like a foreigner. Like for example, if I go to Gong Road and talk to the furniture people, the way they're going to behave with me is going to be different. Just as an example, I'm not talking about your thing specifically that you were just saying. So it's a weird thing for expats because I'm not really big on trying to talk to a bunch of Americans. Like Kai is my guy, and anybody I've been doing consultations with, of course, I'll link up with you guys. But I will say, talking to someone that knows what's going on as an expat or a foreigner that has done whatever you're trying to do is helpful because they'll have some special insights about how to navigate. If I mean, not everybody. Some of these people, like there's people that have been here for a long time that still don't know what's going on. So that it's not true for everybody, but I think I have some special insights on certain things that I've dealt with that you wouldn't run into if you were like a local Kenyan. Yep, you could get you land with that about 30 kilometers out the city center. Yeah, exactly. So shoot, I'd rather my back hurt for a couple of days on the plane than to have a more enjoyable plane ride, because I slept for like 10 hours on the plane on the economy. Dang, everyone's messaging me. Okay. Well, let me send him. How do I send him the link? Kai, if you're in here in the comments, I'm dropping the StreamYard link. I don't know how to text it to him. Let me try to figure it out real quick. Oh, he did it. I'm glad you did it.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, man?
How you doing,
This
Ryan?
this guy's tan. He was in Zanzibar.
Ryan,
I'm giving all your info away.
that jet lag is killing you, huh?
It's over for me. I was like, I'm not going to go to sleep. I'm just going to thug it out. And then, but then I couldn't go anywhere. So I just went to sleep.
Well, shoot, there's no way that you should have been going today. I've been here
Exactly.
since both protests, and both protests, I was told by uh, Kenyans just to stay inside. Even Kenyans told me not to go to the roof because they said that you can get snipers and all this other type of stuff. Just stay inside. I mean, I mean, it's
A
wild. I mean,
sniper.
it's pretty wild over. It was pretty wild on those protest days. But when you do those after those protests, is pretty much like back to normal. You know, um, but I think
Even
it's
after the
best to
big one,
kind of.
right? After June 25th.
Yeah, I was there for June 25th. I'm over here in Westlands. You actually could hear some of the horns, the sirens, and everything else like that. But it was just a day that you just had to kind of just stay indoors. But for the most part, Westlands was not touched. There was just people taking matatus down there, but there was no marches or anything else like that during that time. You know?
You know what's crazy? There's a Black American YouTuber, Cooper, something Cooper. He was in last year's protest. Like he went to the protest. I was like,
No,
yo,
are you
you crazy.
serious? He didn't know that. He
Yes,
didn't
it's
know.
on.
He didn't know. I,
I
I
don't
I
think he
was
knew
told by a
because as
lot of
soon as
people not to go. I was told by a
yeah,
lot of people just don't go. Just don't go. Just stay home. You know, just stay in
yeah,
Westlands.
that's no
I mean,
good
but to
because
each their own.
you
I mean,
shouldn't
to
be
each their own.
participating just like in the U.S. Like how you gonna protest in a country you're a guest at?
That's what I kind of got. You know, it's kind of like and I don't want to get into like the politics or here, but I got
Right,
to respect that the people are talking and
right,
they're expressing their disagreements with the powers that be, and I think that's something that's kind of like in-house, you know
yeah,
so
exactly.
therefore it's kind of like you just got to mind your business if you're a visitor here. That's the
I
way.
agree.
That's the kind of the message that I got, so that's what I did. I just kind of minded my business, and just stayed indoors that day.
What did you
And
eat?
then just Glovo. I just ordered some food, but I ordered
Oh,
it
so they
before
were
the
still.
protests. Well, no, no. How it worked
Oh,
was is that at that time they started at 11, I believe, and at that time you can order food. So I ordered food in the morning, and then just kind of just stayed indoors at that point.
I made a whole order. It's for CJ's in Kilimani,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I could taste the food.
Oh, you could taste
I
it.
could taste it. And then when I clicked the checkout, it was like, we're not delivering. I said,
That's how they tease
no.
you. That's how they tease you. That's how you will make the best order, set up everything else like that, and the next thing you know, we closed. Just to fool you, just to fool you.
Oh, I got Papa John's
Oh,
because it's close and it was late. They're still delivering. I
that's
said,
that. Now, come on, Papa John's is compared to CJ. CJ's you can get that and then some.
oh no,
CJ's
Papa
people is
John's.
like
They got good.
Ron. CJ's is like cheesecake factory, right?
That's a good comparison because I was gonna say I can't think of what CJ's is like. It's like Cheesecake Factory, but it costs like fast food price in the US or
Right,
less.
but it's not fast food. People, it's not fast
Yeah, it's
food,
not
but it's like on Cheesecake Factory level.
quality, yeah. And they have a
Yeah.
lot of different things. And they give you a lot of food.
Yes, yes, they have a lot of different things, curry, all these different type of foods over there. Really
And
good
I
food.
think their consistency is good. Like you know what you're getting when you order from there.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I mean,
That's
if
my
you guys ever
spot.
go to CJ's, you can order avocados. They give you a whole avocado, slice it up.
Ooh,
Salads.
ooh.
I mean, it's lovely. It's lovely. I love it.
Oh, let me ask this question. Craig Bell's asking, yo, bro, me and my girl are watching your live. She asked, how much are you paying for your apartment? So the first one I got is a one bedroom. It's in a section called Lavington. It was 6 million shillings, which is about 40 to 45,000 US dollars. And then the one that I'm getting now is it was 10.5 million shillings, which I think is 87,000 USD. That's a two-bedroom apartment.
And depending on
So
what level you get in the location that you get in, um, the highest I've seen conversion rate is about 130,000. That's pretty much top of the line areas, but that can change depending on the size and everything else that you're getting.
yeah. Dang, the exchange rate when I first came in January 2024 was way better, like 20% better. I think it was like 150 to 1.
Oh
And now
wow.
we're down to 128. So that's the thing. Like if you contract a property and the exchange rate changes, well, you're buying it in shillings. So if the dollar goes down now, the price basically goes up for you.
Right, right. And that's the hardest part when you're putting these down payments, the conversion rate and everything else like that. You have to factor all that in when you're sending that money over. You think that you're sending the deposit amount, and the next thing you know, based off of conversion rates and everything else like that, it's you still owe them
They
a little
credit you
bit
for
from that
less.
deposit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're like, what
Exactly.
the heck?
Exactly. Just where's my money at? You're just going crazy. But no, that's just how it works over here.
It's not much you can do. But I mean, see, I'm debating using sending money through M-Pesa,
Mm. I
right?
mean,
So if you come
you
here,
can, but
but you still got to convert it. Because how do you get your dollars into M-Pesa without getting hit on the conversion?
well, here's the situation, right? You have the wire that you can wire in cash, you know, and that might
When I
take a.
did that, they gave me even Chase gave me the worst conversion ever. I
Oh, is that
lost a
right?
lot. Yeah,
Oh,
I lost
wow.
I lost like probably like $1,500 because
Well, okay. What
I
about
paid.
just having? Well, what about just having a bank account here? I know that's easier said than done.
Well, yeah, I have a bank account. I'm saying, but I'm saying put your money from US dollars into your Safaricom and Pesa account and
Hmm.
then pay from there. But do you lose on the conversion?
I
Like,
think that
how
there's
can you get
no.
it in there?
y- I'm trying to figure that out too, but at this moment, you are losing something off the conversion, and
Yeah,
it's not just. It's a
because
lot, depending on the
yeah,
amount that you send.
I know because you can never get like the true rate. Like if you look up the exchange rate, I can never get that same number when I convert it. It's like
Right.
a couple points less. So
But maybe
that
the
sucks.
M-Pesa route might be the right way to do it. But I don't know if maybe that might be the right way. But I think that there has to be some type of conversion rate, especially when you're just dealing with you taking out of hypothetically America and sending it to whatever entity that you're trying to send it to. There's going to be some type of pay or some deduction that
Right.
you're going to have to deal with. We're
Yeah.
just trying to find the
How do
least damaging deduction.
yeah, because that can make a big that can save you a lot if you do it right.
Hmm.
And I've
Absolutely.
lost some. How did you feel about wiring your
No,
first
okay.
wire?
It's a night. People, how would you guys feel about wiring to just a just to an unknown, place? It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking every
I
single
mean, it
time.
is in the contract.
It is in the contract. It is in the contract. But once again, when you're first investing internationally, you just think about all those different type of things. So you have to just make sure that you get confirmations, receipts, all these different type of things, while you're when you're wiring this money.
And then they take a picture of a handwritten receipt
They do.
and send
They
it to
do.
you.
They send you this handwritten receipt in an envelope with a stamp. And you said, okay, there you go. And you're looking at this thing like, what? You know, but that's how some of these
That's how they keep track of it.
this is how they keep track of it. There's they're getting onto the digital transition, the transactions and everything else like that. But it's just different. It's just different, you know? And you just have to make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's when it comes to especially making these deposits.
Yeah, you got to track your own because what happened? What happened? Like, I don't know what their system is, but I'm like, what happens if they lose the receipt? You know,
That's what I'm
I mean, that's
saying.
why they send it to you as a picture, but still.
Well, they send it to you as a picture.
Uh,
You should yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
do you think this guy's saying, sorry, I can't say the name, 87K for a two bedroom double check that. I'm in the US now, but I'm from there. Well, when's the last time you've been here? Because real estate prices be going up every year, I think.
Hmm.
But do you think that's a high number? Because I think that's what you're looking at for two beds these days. 10 mil, 12.
And it also depends on the location, Ryan. It also really depends
Yeah.
on the location. When you're talking about Westlands, you're starting to see those prices like that.
What did you think about 88?
Um, I just saw it from the outskirts, but it looks amazing. It does.
But
It
that's
looks.
Parklands.
I think that
It's
is
like right out my
Parklands.
window, actually.
No, I think it's Upper Hill. Actually, I think 88 is Upper Hill.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, okay.
yeah, really nice. Looks amazing. I want to see if we can go into it and see what it looks like on the top and everything else like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're a brave
and
man.
y- why not? I mean, let's do it. Let's try to see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, true.
Yeah, but either way,
Dula says Tawakal money transfer. I'll have to see what their conversion rate is because I've been using SendWave. I don't know if it's
okay.
good. Can't you use Remitly to convert? Yeah, but so I got to check the conversion on Remitly. I don't know if it's. I think you still lose on the conversion. Do it through your Schwab account. Nicole's over here big balling with her. You got a Vanguard and a what else you got going on? Charles Schwab account.
The
I
Sawaba
do have
account.
one too, but location. Just check that again. Uh, when tell me when's the last time you've been in Kenya before you're telling me that the price is crazy? Because I think it's the price is kind of normal.
You can actually look at the
I'm not
signs
saying
that they're
wrong,
posting.
but
There's signs
yeah.
everywhere where they're showing the price.
Tap Tap gives me the best rates compared to Boss Money and World Remit. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, what's up with Facebook? Oh, never mind. There's not a lot of Facebook people now. What's up, Craig? I see you still in there.
So
Um,
Ryan, are you wide awake right now?
yeah,
Oh boy. Oh man.
yeah. I'll have to read a book or something.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to talk to these people. Make sure just kind of relax or something like that. Take some
Oh,
tea. Take some Kenyan tea. Kenyan tea's pretty good.
does it have caffeine? There's probably some here somewhere.
Yeah, you probably might. I don't know. I have to double check all
I,
that.
I'm staying in the same place as I was before.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool, cool. But either way, I just wanted to check up with you guys, man. I'm about to go to sleep.
Okay. You going to sleep?
I'm
Yeah.
on this timeline right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm tired,
Yeah. Don't
you
stay
know.
up. All right. And you were
All right, player.
traveling.
All right, man. I'll
I'll
talk to
see
you.
you probably
All right now.
tomorrow. I'll be at
Yeah.
Sarit.
All right, let
Yeah.
me know. Let me know.
Don't tell the people. Someone's gonna stalk us.
I got you. I got you. I got you, bro.
All right. I'll see
Welcome,
you.
Ryan.
Appreciate you.
All
Yep.
right now.
Thank you. Peace. Mark West went with your agent Dennis last Thursday. Two bedroom at Emerald was 13 million. Exactly. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You were there 3 months ago. So okay, what's a good price in Kilimani for a two bedroom? Because Emerald was 13. That's Westlands. But that's if you go by dollar per square meter, it's pretty. Remitly said convert at 128. Yeah, I'm seeing 128 on the conversion as well. Emerald Spring isn't all that, to be honest. A lot of people are saying that it's small. Is Kai retired or has a similar? But we have a very, very, very similar background. I don't know how much info he wants me to give, but Kai has been in real estate in California and some other states. And I think we both look at the market today and be like, you're looking at other states in the US. That's how I started. I was like, I'm going to Florida, and then COVID happened, and in Florida, because I'm in New Jersey, then the Florida market is insane. Georgia's crazy. Texas is getting high. The next markets are probably like Tennessee, Nevada. I don't know about Louisiana, North Carolina, South Carolina. North Carolina is doing really well, but still, it's way more money, and now you have debt. I'm off of debt, so if I can't buy it cash, I ain't doing it. Yo,
Big
what's going
salute to you,
on?
fam.
How
Big
you
salute
doing?
to the chat. I've been watching you for a minute, B. And yeah, I been through Nairobi. I'm in Burkina Faso right now, but
Oh wow.
yeah, bro, 87K, I wouldn't do it, bro. I went in and did the first one. For that,
What do you think is a good price?
for an apartment, I wouldn't. If you're gonna do something in Nairobi, bro, you need to put that 87K into a business. Start your real
Oh, you're
estate business.
just
Matter of fact,
you think
yeah,
it'd be
don't
better
don't
to do a
don't.
business instead of real estate.
Yeah, do you a business
Why?
because you West Africa has more opportunities for the price.
You
87K,
think
you could have got
so?
some land and built your own building, bro.
You can't.
I
Not
promise
in
you.
Nairobi.
And then you got more options. See, that's just Nairobi or Kenya. See, if you was to spend that money in West Africa, you got Togo, Benin, you got all the Eco Wars countries, Nigeria, Liberia, Ghana.
Right.
So yeah, think wise before you spend that type of money on the continent,
What's
bro.
the price out there in Burkina Faso right now?
I mean, on land, we can get you some land, we can get you some hectares, at least 2.5 for probably 5,000.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bro. Don't
I
don't
hear
don't spend
you.
that type of money in Kenya. If you're gonna do that in Nairobi, bro, start you a business. You look around while you there and put that money into a business. Yeah, register you a business. See, I'm into the jewelry business on this side. So start you a business before you do the real estate. If you're gonna do something with real estate, start a real estate business and build you a house. Yeah, build, get you a compound. That's how the real. When you start looking around, that's how the real ones is living out here. You know. So yeah, do you a
What do
business?
you do? What are you doing in how's Burkina Faso? What are you doing out there?
I mean, I'm doing jewelry, doing agriculture, Armor God Jewelry Company.
Oh,
So if like I subscribe, if you come to my channel, subscribe. My ultimate plan is to do an international gem and jewelry show, West Africa.
okay. That's what's up. How's it going? Like, you're like, how do you get are you making the jewelry? Or like, tell me how it works.
Yeah, I put a concoction together.
A
I'm the
concoction.
brains. Yeah, I'm the brains. I have the people that do the artwork. I get the brains and the clientele.
So
It's a
what, like,
collective.
are you like getting the gold from the mines, or like, how do you?
Now we get the gold through the state. We
Oh,
could
so
probably get an
you're dealing with the
ounce. We
government.
probably get an ounce of 22K right now. We can get an ounce. Matter of fact, bro, come over here and be a bullion dealer. 10 bands, bro. 15 bands. All you gotta do is show you got it in the bank account. I can make you a bullion dealer and save you some money. You talk
I
about
don't get
87
involved in
bands on a two
businesses. I don't.
bedroom. Man, you want to be building mansions out there. I'm tired of seeing y'all over there on that apartment. Um, And I'm gonna say penthouse. Y'all in that penthouse shit, man. Y'all need to get out here and get some land and and build your own penthouses on it. So yeah,
You got to show us. You got to show us. Show us
you
how to
got to
do
pull
it.
up to see. Tell me, I'll
We
show
got to
you. I'm
pull
showing
up.
you right now. I'm a jeweler.
I
But if
feel
you
you. I
really want
feel
to
you.
see, you got to pull up and see. Yeah, I could plug you in with the right
Okay.
people. But yeah, you got more opportunities. You got more bang for your buck. That's what I really came up here to let you know, bro. 80. When I heard you say 87K, I say, oh man, shit, he only because I've been watching you for a minute. But when you said 87K for a 2-bedroom, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro.
Okay. I hear
You
you.
got more opportunities in 54 countries. You on the continent now. If you got the bag on you, man, bro, weigh your options first before you spend that type of bread on one little thing. Because with that type of bread in West Africa, shit, man, you could build you a mansion damn near, bro.
I think
87K.
like Ghana's more expensive than do you speak French?
You got more options than Ghana.
Yeah,
I speak a
but so
little
you're
bit
in
of French.
Burkina Faso. You
Yeah, I
speak
can
French, yeah?
understand more than I can speak. But I know how to move, bro. I know how to move in these streets. Yeah, I know how to move.
Okay.
You know. But
I
if you
feel you.
wanted to be real for you, I got that type of connection. You know, only reason I didn't do the bouillon dealer because I didn't have the bread, you know, to show I had it in the bank.
Mm.
And if you want to do the money, get you a bank if you can, bro, and transfer the money to yourself. The only way you get the best fees is bank to bank.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going through any side networks, you're gonna pay the fee. So if you want to
Yeah,
get
that's
the
probably
right
the best
conversion
way.
rate, yeah, you gotta get you a bank and wire you send your money to
And then
yourself.
wire yourself.
Yeah,
That's probably I do have a bank account here, so I probably will do it that way.
yeah, bank to bank, bro.
But
Come
it's
on, bro.
hard. You got to know people to get a bank account because in Kenya you need a work
All you gotta
permit
do is start a
technically.
business to get a bank account, bro.
Hmm.
That's all you gotta do in Africa. Start you a business, and that's when the doors open up. Once you have a business registered, all types of
Right.
doors open up.
How are you registered in Burkina?
Yeah, I'm stamped and approved, baby. Oh my
How was
God,
that
jury company.
process?
Huh?
How was that process?
Well, due to the situation that was going on, it took a little longer. And now you gotta sneak your extortion. I ain't gonna say extortion, but I'm gonna say you gotta sneak your expedited fees. In America, we call it expedited when you pay a little extra to speed your paperwork process. So due
Hmm.
to them getting rid of corruption, it took a little longer, but I ain't complaining. Things was being done the
How
right way.
long? How long did it
It took
take?
about because I was doing it. I think it took 3 months, but I think it took that long because I'm doing a comparative business and it's a group of us. So I had to make sure everybody
Hmm.
was on the same accord, and that is a very difficult task dealing with Black folks. No matter where you at in the world, Africa and America, you dealing with Black
Okay.
folks, man, they moving on Black folks' time. And coming from America,
Mm.
we used to getting it done. You know,
I be trying to tell people, yeah, don't move like that.
Yeah, and in Africa, don't move like that. You on Black man time. You got to be patient. Yeah, Africa working patience. Yeah, you got to be patient. But it was
How
worth it
long
in
have
the
you been
end.
coming to the continent?
I've been back and forth for going on 5 years now. It's been 4 years strong. We was Burkina Faso first. Then I tapped in with Nairobi. Learned a lot about the land and all that out there. That's why I'm telling you, man, don't do it, bro. Weigh your options first. With that type of money.
Mm.
Because with that type of money in Africa, sweet lick. So be careful with that type of bread. And yeah, weigh your options around the continent first. Now that you here, bop around and see. Because instead of that apartment thing, that's what had me thrown off when I went to Nairobi. I'm like, boy, West Africa way better for real estate than East Africa. East Africa is too saturated. You gotta you gotta compete your money with the Chinese, the Indians, the white Americans. So in West Africa you got more
When
room
you
to
say
work.
West, like, what are you talking about?
West Africa, I mean the whole west of Africa, from I would say Morocco
Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire,
on down to
Togo,
Namibia.
Benin.
Yeah, all that down up in there. All the eco wars, especially
Mm,
because when you register a business under the eco wars umbrella, all those countries are connected.
mhm.
Soon, but by me being in Burkina Faso, I'm automatically gonna transfer to the AES. But soon, they're not gonna be part of eco wars anymore. But as of right now, when you register a business in Africa, you got multiple countries to work with the same business laws. So that's something you got
Interesting.
to research too while you hear your business laws in East Africa. Definitely do that, bro. Definitely do that.
Yeah,
But
I'll be reading as much as possible because there's all kind. Like in the U.S., I would know, right, because I know the law. But here's it takes a
yeah,
while to like learn everything,
yeah,
especially
don't
with
get
the freehold leasehold situation.
yeah, that's pretty much all of Africa now. You got a few countries that
Yeah.
Burkina Faso, you used to could buy it outright, but people trying to take control of their land because
Hmm.
the colonizer folks still here. They want the land, and they got their
Right.
businesses. Like for instance, Firestone, Bridgestone, tire
Hmm.
company. Coming from America, you would never know that Firestone, Bridgestone been getting their rubber from Liberia for over 100 years and selling us
Hmm.
$400 tires for our cars in America. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you still got businesses like that shit that's been operating for a long, long time, bro. Long, long time. As you start doing business, you'll see it. You'll rub elbows with these people,
Yeah,
and you'll
yeah.
be
You
like,
got to take
"What?"
your time with the business. Hmm.
Yeah,
Darnell said, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. He said, sounds like he's from Harlem, has all the answers, but doesn't explain anything. Get the likes up and support the channel.
I mean, if
Dang.
they want an explanation, they got to be more specific.
I think we're asking about the jewelry business, right? So, like, what are you, like, how does it work? That's what I was asking. You said you know some people, but like,
Oh, you come
who's buying
here.
jewelry in Burkina? Or are you exporting? Like, what are you doing?
I'm selling on my channel. I'm working on the collection right
Online.
now with some gemstones. So I'm gonna be pushing and promoting real hard on my Instagram and on my YouTube. I would say within the next week. This is my first collection,
Mhm.
GPT. Just some gorilla head, just something to see what my jewelers, because the tools they got is prehistoric tools.
Mhm.
So I'm importing tools, jewelry making tools. Yeah, I am importing that, but yeah, I do plan on selling jewelry internationally, which I can do because I have a company. But my market is
Right.
gonna be more towards Asia.
So you would export to Asia.
Yeah, export, deliver. When you're dealing with jewelry, a lot of people want to deliver. When you dealing, that's a different type of clientele. When you're dealing with,
Right.
I specialize in custom heirloom jewelry and gemstones. So when you're dealing with that type of clientele, it's people like your Floyd Mayweather types, people that just want simple jewelry like me and you. You might catch a flight to come pull up on me. You might order you a chain and you might catch you a flight and come pick it up. But the type of
Mhm.
people that I've been meeting, they'll order something and then fly me out to come drop it off.
Okay. What's like the price range that you're looking to sell?
It all depends on how much weight you want, because the weight of gold and silver determines the price. It all depends on what karat gold you want. We only do 18 to 22 karat. We don't do 14 and they don't do 24. Only way you get 24 karat if you are a bullion dealer.
So do you get the gold cheaper?
Yeah, I told you I can get you an ounce of gold for about 1,200.
You can get an ounce
24K.
of gold for $1,200.
And what you can go back to America and sell it for? About three and a half bands, right?
An ounce is like 3,300, I think.
So
Why
with
don't you
your
just
87
resell the
bands,
gold
bro,
then? If you could do that, why do the jewelry if you could just buy gold and resell it for double?
because you got to, I just told you, to be a bullion dealer, you have to have proof that you have $10,000 to $15,000 in a bank. Once you show your paperwork, your bank statement, yeah, I got 15 bands. You can open up a bank account here. So they want to make sure they're dealing with official people. That's why I did the jewelry instead of the bullion, because I didn't have 10 to 15 bands to show that I got in the bank. So I started doing the jewelry. But if that's why I told you your opportunities, you better weigh them out first, because you come over here and start you a bullion business selling gold and silver to America, and you could build houses in Nairobi. You see how I go? Instead of
Oh yeah,
apartments,
for
you can
sure.
build your own apartment building in Nairobi. See how it go?
Yeah, you need more capital to be building probably that big, depending on what's going on.
If you a bullion dealer and you getting ounces of gold for 1,200, and you getting them sent to you in America where you making 3,400, how long would it take you to make $1 million? Do you think?
Well, that's why aren't you doing it? That's what
Because
I
I
want to
just
know.
told you I
If
don't
you could
have
do
the money
it,
to show.
borrow 10 grand.
Nah, I don't want to borrow. I want to make my own. So start with the jewelry
You're gonna
first.
be a millionaire in a year.
I'm starting at the bottom, bro. We doing the jewelry right now. Once we get our weight up, then we'll be bullion dealers. I got the plug already.
You're gonna miss the
I'm just letting
opportunity.
you know your options, because you on the continent now. That's the only reason I'm here, bro.
I appreciate it.
You know,
I hear you. I
I
appreciate the
got one better for
information.
the people. I can show you some paperwork, stamps, approvals. That's what they really want to see. I get my journal. Matter of fact, I gotta go pick my journal up. That's what when people make orders, you keep track. Yeah. Paperwork, stamp, approve.
Is that the business registration?
Stamp, yeah. Stamp, approve. Whole business packet, stamp, government stamp. Yeah,
That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's
So
not easy to get the registration.
it's easy. It's just a process. You got to go through the process.
Yeah, right.
Registering a business is easy. It's easy. You just got to go wait on the process. But when you register a business, that's when things open up for you. So do a business first, bro. If you in the real estate, do a real estate business.
Well, that's why I haven't touched the land yet, because you could do more when you have a registered business than because a registered business can buy the land freehold.
Yeah.
So you need that to be able to, because the leasehold thing, yeah. I hear you. What are you doing? You just because it's not as late over there, right?
Well, it's 10:55 at night.
Oh, okay.
Just cooling, watching YouTube. I seen you come across my desk. I say, "Oh, bro, dropping the link today. Let me tell."
Yeah.
Oh, he in Kenya. I say he finally made it.
I'm back.
And then when you said what really made me call in, you was like, "Yeah, I spent this much on the 1 bedroom."
I know everybody's going crazy. Oh, you spent $87K.
I mean, you take your L's, but the second one, if you ain't spent the money yet, don't do it, bro. Wait on the second one. Weigh your options.
It's already done. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow.
Oh man, well, it is what it is. It is what it
Yeah.
is. You know, it's just a
I'm
lot
I'm
going
not
on.
sold yet, but you gotta show me.
Show you what?
I want to see you do it big so I can see I messed up.
Oh yeah, subscribe to the channel.
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely. Actually, let me do that. It's GBT Cuddy.
yeah. Look, there go Kung Fu. Yeah, freehold. Yeah,
Kung
hey,
Fu
Kung Fu.
Faithful.
Hey, you know that land in Kenya? Hey, my people's a Supreme Court judge out there, right? I'm just a quick little story about my little Kenya situation. She told me anything
Hmm.
dealing with land and you a foreigner, run away from it. I learned this about 2-3 years ago. Dealing with a guy named JT the Bigger Figure. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but it's a messed up learning situation. Learning situation, you know. So that's why I say, hey, weigh your options on the continent, man. Do your business. Now, next you got to start, get your business together so you
That's
can
why
be
we
more of
talk
an asset.
about, yeah. I mean, I think you've been on the continent for 5 years. I'm a little bit newer. I think you need more experience before you start trying to do like a business, like an active
Nah,
business, you
business need
know.
to be the first thing you do. Land and real estate.
People don't, people come here, they don't even know how to pay for stuff. You can't just come and just start a business. You don't even know how to move around yet, you know.
That's why you got people like me, people that's been here, people that you can learn from. You gotta watch what others go through on YouTube
Mm,
and use them as an examples. See, when you come to Africa, the first thing you should have been doing
you
is
can't
making
trust
you a.
everybody on YouTube.
No, you can't. You got to eat the meat, spit out the bones. I'm just saying you got to
Yeah,
look at their
but you,
situations of how they move, of what they doing, and learn from them. Don't do what they do, but learn from their situations. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
me,
for
if I
sure.
wouldn't have learned
That's what I'm saying.
from,
We're watching you. We'll be watching. I want to see the bouillon situation.
oh yeah, the bouillon
Because
might be a minute.
if you
I'm
could
not in
get
no
12,
rush. I'm not in a rush for the bouillon. I'm just presenting you with the opportunity and your
you
audience.
present me an opportunity that you're not rushing to.
I'm doing the jury, bro.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm doing the jury. And the only reason I'm not doing the bouillon is because I don't have the capital. Believe me, if I had the capital, I would be doing the bouillon. But with the connections I have, since I can't touch the big
It,
weight, I just get a little something and make a product that's tangible.
10's
It's
not
a
big
tangible
though.
asset.
And also, if you told a bunch of people, I can buy something for 1200 and immediately turn around and sell it for 3300, somebody will invest 10K to do that.
I,
If it's
I
that
wouldn't.
easy.
I don't want to take anybody investment money though. I don't want to owe anybody. I'm not. I'd rather work. Let me work, and I get my money up, and then I do it myself. But for somebody who got it and want to invest in themselves, the opportunity is here.
Oh, I agree. There's a ton of opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity is here. People got to come. They don't. And these opportunities that's now, they're not gonna be forever. So whatever
Yeah,
opportunities you
that's
got,
I agree.
you got to jump on them. You know.
I agree. I agree.
So
Because
what
people
you
are
do?
waking up. There's more investment. Go ahead.
Yeah, they really don't. Well, they waking up late. They waking up late.
Yeah, but they wake it up because I see more and more every day.
Yeah. But so what you gonna do with your rent? You gonna rent them out, Airbnb them?
The one I have, I'll rent it out, and then the one I'm getting, I'm gonna stay there.
Oh, you good, man. You gonna be living good then. You travel. You
Yeah.
plan on hitting up any other countries? You know, are you into the real
Yeah.
estate
Once I
business
get,
or?
yeah, I own a real estate brokerage in the US.
Oh man, you got to
But
bring that to West
so,
Africa, bro. West Africa needs you, bro. The biggest demand in West Africa next to water wells is affordable housing.
yeah, I agree with affordable housing. I mean, that's on my
Man,
agenda. But again, I think like doing construction in the US is hard. Doing it anyway, construction is just hard to do because labor, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to have the right people in place to be able to execute on these things.
I mean, you can put once you register your business, all that stuff gonna fall into place. You got work. That's one thing you're not gonna lack in Africa is human resources for labor. You got people that build, especially in West Africa. The kids learn how to build out here. I built the house. Well, we built the house on my channel. You can go watch it. We built it from when it was
Wait
straight
a
dirt.
minute. I seen that. Okay. I've seen that.
Yeah, I done did
You
all that.
built like
So yeah,
a one bedroom thing.
yeah. I had
Oh,
chickens. I
I
had
saw that.
rabbits, growing food out there and everything. Yeah, the building part that is when you build it one story, that's easy. But if you build in two and three
Yeah.
stories, that take a little bit more. You
Hmm.
got to get that solid cement. But
Yeah.
yeah, as long as you know the prices on your materials, bro, and you on site, bro, this it's
Yeah, you got to
it's nothing
manage
to
it
it.
for sure. Oh,
Yeah, you got make
Jen
sure they
says
at work
check
on
out.
time. Make sure it's getting
Right.
built. Make sure bricks getting made.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. You got to know some things before you just do it, I think. But Dennis here is saying agro importation, coffee, floral, avocados direct from farms. Just get legal government documents. Yeah, I like the farming um, business for sure. But here's the thing, I don't know about farming in real life. So there's a lot of things that I feel like I would need to learn because you do need to know enough to like how to keep the chickens alive. How should like if you don't know anything, you're going to have a lot of issues.
Shit, I learned through YouTube.
There's a guy in Uganda who does a chicken farm thing, and he
Yeah,
tells you
farm
how to
up.
build the stuff. Yeah,
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 farm up.
it's
That's
real
who I
good.
learned from. I call him the bird
Hmm.
man.
So there is good information on YouTube for sure.
Yeah, that's why I say when you watch people, you learn what take some of the things they doing, and they throw little pointers. You know what I'm saying? And then you do your own little research and put your own
Right.
concoctions together. Like, oh shit, I ain't know nothing about farming and growing no stuff. I just watch YouTube, start putting my own concoctions together, mixing up all the spare cow boo boo, goat boo boo. I'm collecting it. I'm paying the little boys, a
Right.
little female, go collect me a bucket of doo doo, and they'll go fill it
Uh-huh.
up. Mud pies, fill it up. I break it up, throw it on out there with the seeds. Man, 2-3 days later, man, stuff jumping out the ground. Bow, bow. I'm like, what?
That's what Khalees was saying. Khalees was saying it's easy to grow because they haven't messed up the soil.
Bruh, the soil is whoa, it's rich. It's rich all over Africa. You can grow as long as you
Okay.
got water. Shit, you can grow.
Put your channel name in the chat if you can, because a bunch of people are asking, and we'll make sure they are able to find you. All of Africa is popular. Yeah, see a bunch of people asking what your channel name is, so I want to make sure they can check you out. But that's crazy. Now, I saw the video of you doing that house in Faso, so that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they build out here.
Sylvie,
Out
I've been
in
looking
West
at that
Africa.
precast,
Yeah, in West Africa
and
they
I was
build.
thinking, like, oh, go ahead. Mhm. There's a delay. Sorry.
My fault, bro.
No, no. So there's like a delay, so I don't want to talk over you. Um, yeah, precast. I watched hours and hours of videos about precast. It's pretty interesting for affordable housing, right? Because if you build all the precast blocks, you can you could lay foundations and then build a whole bunch of frames and then build out a bunch of houses all at once.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on the affordable housing thing, and I think it's just good, like morally, I guess I don't have a better word for it, but to be able to provide like affordable, decent housing is probably a good thing to do. Kung Fu said, I need to contact Farm Up. Yeah, when I'm ready. I don't like to contact people till I can like do something. Are we gonna address the elephant in the room? What's the situation in Kenya? I don't like to get into politics, so we can talk about what's going on, but that's as far as I can go.
Yeah, don't speak on it, bro. Don't even.
Yeah.
If you ain't affected by it, don't even worry about it. Let them people handle their business. Just like I did in Burkina Faso, and I rock with them. Let them people handle their business.
Right.
They getting act right.
Right. Mm-hmm. So here's the channel. Ryan is at the airport hotel. No, I'm in Kilimani. 100 protesters been killed. I don't think that's the right number, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe because them police
Discount
in Kenya,
Hub,
boy.
what's going on? There's a lot going on for sure. Oh, see, they talking about land scamming.
Yeah, that wasn't me scamming. that was the other dude. Shit, I got scammed out of land.
Be careful with the land.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that land, bro. That land, boy. That's why I tell people, man, don't even come to Africa with land on your mind. Do your business first. Because if your business is an asset, people will give you land. Like what you got going on, if just like the gold nugget I just gave you, if you was to bring an affordable housing plan to any country in Africa, you can get government funding from that country to help build the affordable housing, and they'll give you land, bro.
Right. Yeah.
You got to be an asset. If you have a business, you an asset, and you got the real estate mind, so you already an asset. Liberia needed, all of West Africa need affordable housing. They popping babies out, young families. Man, these folks
yeah, the average age was like 16. Yeah.
Bro,
Sylvie said 3 beds should be done for 3 million. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 3 million. But if you build it for 3 million, you're gonna have to sell it for 6. That's too much. That's too high. I don't think the middle class affords 6 million on a house.
Well, that's for.
I think that's Kenyan
well, you
shillings.
can't really. One thing I learned about Africa too, people be trying to count their money. You can't really count African people money because a lot of them work independently. You know, they got their side businesses, like the people that sell the cigarettes. You don't know how much money they making.
No, I'm just saying, because if I tell someone, a Kenyan, like 6 million, their face looks like they think it's a lot. That's all I'm going off of. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
a lot to them.
They'd be like, oh, that's yeah, right. So me, in my mind, I'm like, you probably need to be around 3, and that's probably high, but affordable. That is my business because I have to keep hiring security guards to protect my shop by the airport.
See, once you learn the prices of your materials, everything else will go. You'll know how much to pay people, and then you put your budget together.
Yeah.
But once you learn the material prices, you know the rules, the water wells, you do your own calculations. You'll know how much you supposed to spend.
That's why you gotta. For me, you gotta slow walk into it. You know, I look up how much the concrete blocks cost, how much a borehole costs to make. Plus, then there's all these costs that you don't know about. So I'm trying to discover all that before getting into anything.
Yeah.
And actually, to your point, I was looking. So I want to talk to some attorneys and things here to figure out the business entity structure and how to register and all that stuff to do everything properly. So that's kind of, I'll be here for 3 months. So that's That's one of
Oh
my
yeah, you got
objectives while
time.
I'm here.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
time. But definitely, yeah, get that lawyer. Look for them tomorrow. I recommend get you a good lady, because dudes is
Mm-hmm.
they're a little more quicker to find and then map out about 5 of them, and run them down, give them a rundown, and then whatever vibe you get, that's who you
Right.
run with. Yeah, but definitely get you a lawyer,
That's the plan.
bro. Yeah, off
Yeah.
gate.
And I've heard bad, well, not bad things, but you got to get the right one because just because you have a lawyer don't mean you're good. You got to have the right lawyer that knows the stuff and has integrity is going to look out for you. So yeah, like you said, talking to 4 or 5 different lawyers, get the vibe, figure it out, and do the best you can as far as screening.
Yeah, because
And that's what I
integrity is
do.
very.
Like I don't just read. I try to talk to a lot of different people and then ask them what people they use and then talk to them from a referral, not just looking online or anything. Like everything's got to be kind of word of mouth to connect with people.
Yeah,
Tour
but like you
areas
say,
along Thika Road.
you got
Yeah,
time. You got time. Give them run them down, because integrity is hard to find in Africa, but it's very important. That's one thing made me fall in love with Burkina Faso: the integrity of the police and the military. Because some of these
yeah,
African
right now.
countries, you go to, the police corrupt. Shit, man, I ain't had no problems with the police the whole time I've been, unless I've been in the wrong. But other than that, man, I ain't had no problem. They treat me like a brother. I've been in the wrong a couple times, and they wasn't even worried about it. They just want to smile and dap you up.
Huh,
Yeah,
interesting. I mean, they probably aren't. Are there a lot of foreigners there right now? Because I'm pretty sure probably
yeah.
most people are kind of scared to be there.
No, this the best time to be here. Well, the money makers, Chinese here, the Russians here, Italians here,
Mm,
French people here, everybody here, but foreign military. Yeah,
mm.
they here. White Americans.
Well, yeah, they
Matter
sent
of
the
fact,
French
it was a
out.
lady. It was a white lady from the American embassy that ran a man over on the bike the other day at the chicken spot. She was
What?
scared to death. But the
Yikes.
people from the embassy, they came out. But I say, man, he finna get a check.
Mm.
That's what everybody was saying. Yeah, liggity means money out here, and they was all saying liggity, liggity,
Mm,
liggity.
mm.
But yeah,
Um,
yeah, man, you got everybody out here, man. Black Americans, only ones that ain't out
Interesting.
here deep. Everybody else out here.
B said, "Is the whole city on lockdown?" No, well, you couldn't go in certain areas. It probably wasn't a good idea to be driving around. Is basically what the situation was. And some places, a lot of businesses were closed, and but I think tomorrow should be good. Diaper production business. Do you know about the Law Society of Kenya? It is a database for Kenyan lawyers to see if they are active on their license, and it tells you what. Thank you for that information. I was aware of a website. I didn't know what it was called, but I appreciate that. So I'll definitely make sure. I'll check. Also, I got to make also the land. There's RD Sasa, which is a land database, but I don't. You have to get like a registration to be able to get on there. So I need a foreign ID thing. I don't know. The lawyer, I need to figure out the lawyer thing because I don't have like a foreign ID yet, which I guess is the prelude to residency. I don't know. I don't know that
Yeah,
what I'm talking
get
about,
that
but
lawyer tomorrow, bro. Start on that
yeah,
tomorrow, and that's gonna
yeah, I'll
open
be
up doors.
interviewing him. Because that's what when Khalees bought the land, she was looking for a lawyer first, and the lawyer had the land or knew of the people selling
Yeah,
because
they gonna
it's
know
not like the
everything. The lawyer
U.S.
gonna be your
Right.
gateway. Yeah, that
Yeah,
lawyer,
because it's not
that's
like
gonna
the
be
U.S.
your.
with real estate. Yeah, because in the U.S. you could see most of the things advertised, but here you gotta you gotta know someone that knows the properties available.
Yeah, because you got gatekeepers, you got chiefs of communities. So you might have a lawyer that
Hmm.
might be from a community that know a chief that got some land for sale. I know some people, so it's kind of like sacred gatekeepers, basically. You know, something that's is needed. You know, because if not, man, there people have been and ravaged the land.
Discount Hub. He's our favorite negative person that's always in here. He's from Kenya. Burkina Faso has a jihadist problem in the north. What is this guy Cuddy saying? I don't know if you want to respond, but
it's a jihadist problem in America. He just ain't felt it yet. He just ain't felt it yet.
I'm from. G said the best way to avoid headache in building in Kenya is through companies like Fine Urban Interior and Design Company. You can check out their YouTube and sell it. But see, G, the thing is, you're paying extra premium for the builder. Yeah. But I agree with you. You know, if you don't want no problems, but like if we were kind of talking about affordable housing and certain things like that. If you got to get the price way down, you're going to have to like contract it yourself, or well, maybe they're cheaper. I don't know. Like, but that's my assumption.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Build your own team, because when you go through the companies, you got to pay that.
Well, they have to make money. Yeah.
You build your own, bro. Because you got one thing you got in Nairobi. You got the Chinese too. They got everything you need for building materials. They got what's the stuff to clear the land for the low. So that's one thing.
That's the other thing.
That's one thing about China and Kenya too. You get your own, build your own company, from the trucks to the builders. Yeah, you be the brain of the whole operation. Don't cut out the middleman.
Yeah, I agree. I think because I was like, there's no like Home Depot.
Yeah.
So if you could buy at scale from the Chinese on the materials, you could get the price for building stuff cheaper, because that's how they're doing it, right? Because when I'm in these developments, they'll break stuff all the time. They don't care about the materials, because they'll just be like, I'll put another one in, because I know they're getting them for so cheap. Otherwise, they would care about it more. Yeah. Somebody else is hopping on here. Who's Mr. Nice? You got to go on camera, because we don't want no,
Kung Fu fan of Mr. Nice. He got a good information about Kenya too. He be back and forth.
Okay. You gotta go. You're not going on camera, because apparently people do weird stuff. I don't know. I don't want to get no problems.
Yeah. Make them show themselves first. As long as you see them,
Yeah.
But he good.
What's
people
going on?
Nah, I don't do any weird stuff, man. I'm a reactor.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Faceless reactor.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Oh, good.
What's up, Cuddy?
Why do you hide your face though?
Well, I work at a job that could possibly be fired because I have a social media account. That's one of those jobs.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you have a bunch of weirdos out there too. So trying to hunt some people down, dox them and all that other stuff. So, that ain't cool. Doxing's illegal. A lot of people do it anyway because they know a lot of people are getting away with it. But anyway, So you're in Kenya. I've seen a couple of your videos in the past. I think they were just live streams. So what is it in Kenya that you're really trying to do?
So I have a background in real estate. I own a real estate brokerage. I flip houses. I have investment properties, and I dip my toe in on the investment side on the apartments. But this trip, I'm kind of, I am looking to do some kind of business, but I think it takes a while to understand the economics of an area, what's needed, what's not needed. So I'm kind of here to learn that stuff, but I'm also moving here. So I'm like half retired at this point, and just living my best life.
Okay. And are you planning to be a citizen or an expat? In Kenya?
I think the process is long. So, I mean, eventually do, residency or whatever, I think it's like a 7-year process. So I'm not really that focused.
Yeah. For the residency, I don't know much about, but when it comes to citizenship, it is a 7-year process where you have to stay in Kenya and you can't leave. So if you can do that and you can afford to do that without having to leave the country because of business or whatever, then that would be cool. But I think with the residency, it might be a little bit different. So that's where you want to get an immigration lawyer. So you have lawyers that are for land acquisitions and your immigration lawyers, and you definitely want your immigration lawyer to do all your paperwork for you, because if you go down to the immigration office, I had one lady tell me, I'll get you citizenship for 50,000 shillings. And this was like almost 20 years ago. So you want a lawyer to actually look over. Plus, a lawyer will help process everything faster, a little bit faster, as well as make sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Yep, that's on the agenda. Is getting the right immigration attorney, and then I don't know if I need a different one for the business registration stuff. But
I know one that does all of that. But and another thing too, I would recommend, in Kenya. But one thing I would recommend too, because I've heard this multiple times over the 20 years, is that you would prefer to hire a female lawyer, not a male lawyer. And the reason is that most of the men, unfortunately, are more into scamming, and they're officially lawyers. So
hey, Kung Fu, you still got our girl information?
Yeah, I do.
If make that happen. We got a lawyer for you, bro, and she got integrity. And she fine too. Yeah, she fine.
Yeah, she's got a suitor though. She's got a suitor.
Oh, dang. I knew somebody was gonna get her. Yeah, she fine. Yeah, and she integrity. Man, bro.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. Your real name's Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is that I'm telling you, over the past 20 years, bro, I have told so many people, especially the last 10 years, I've told so many people, don't buy land in Africa over the internet. Never do it.
Obviously.
But you still have people doing it. I swear to God, I've told people in person, don't do it. Right. And a couple of those dummies did it. I'm telling you, a couple of those dummies did it. But like there's a guy, I'm just going to say his name now. He's a Kenyan. So he's also a YouTuber. And a lot of YouTubers are doing this. They're selling the dream of buying land in Africa, right? And the Gambia and Kenya right now has the biggest reputations right now of ripping people off.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was Ghana.
Well, Ghana in there too
Ghana too, yes. But I'm going to say Gambia, for small as it is, Kenya, because everybody's looking at Kenya, and I'm one of the main people like started 20 years ago promoting Kenya and to people outside and stuff like that. And back then, I was watching the news in Kenya and watching about the real estate market, and they said back then that Kenya is the #1 rated real estate market in the world.
Really?
They need affordable housing in Kenya.
Now, I don't know what type of stats go with that to make, for making that claim, right? But that's what they're saying. And these are people who are investors from the U.S. and America that were on this interview talking about this. So they weren't even from Kenya. And they were selling properties and land and stuff in Diani and stuff like that. Investment companies that are already there and established in Kenya. I'm going to tell you right now, your lawyer is going to be your best friend. When you get a good lawyer, that's your best friend. Always keep that retainer available, and then always have all your checks. Make sure you do everything that the lawyer says, because if you don't do all your checks, if there's just one thing missing, you're going to find out that you bought some land without consulting your lawyer, because it's a, what they call it, community land or something like that, tribal land, stuff like that. You don't want to do that. And you're going to find out that, okay, you spent $80,000 on construction and everything, and it already has 3 past owners that still own the land because it was sold 3 times.
Right.
And that's a situation you don't want to get in, that you don't want to be caught into. So one person, just to get the information, he went to university here in the States. His name is, I think his name is Solomon. His name is Solomon. I think, and you go to Goshen Acquisitions Limited.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay, yeah, he is all about.
I
He'll
know his
even tell you.
company.
He'll even tell you to get a lawyer.
Mhm.
If you deal with him, he wants you to get a lawyer. If you're going to buy land in the areas that he sells, he wants you to get a lawyer.
Right.
So you're not going to find many people doing that. So this guy came from the U.S., went back to Kenya, I think like 8 years ago, started his company,
Yeah.
and he's thriving. And basically,
Mhm.
you're going to find a lot of people in Kenya that are just waiting for somebody like you and sell
Oh,
you
yeah.
sell you the dream, right? And
Not me, yeah, because I know.
they're going
I
to say,
know. Yeah.
they're going to say, "Are you married? You're not married? I have a cousin. Do
Mhm.
you want to move here? I got land for you. You want farming land? You know, I mean, the gamut goes on. And your lawyer, I'm going to tell you right now, it's the one I recommend you. If you want to go with that lawyer, she's going to tell you straight up all these things plus more.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
But
yeah. I mean, that's why I'm here. Like that's a big goal, is to acquire the proper lawyer, because anything more advanced, because I'm buying off-plan stuff, which I think is pretty straightforward. But once
Mhm.
you get into land and business registrations and actually doing business, I think you got to be a lot more sophisticated.
Right. Now let me ask you, on your profession, does it require you to travel?
It can.
You can.
We're talking
So
about taxes.
well, you can get your taxes done in Kenya.
Mhm.
There's certified tax agents from the U.S.
Oh
So
yeah, they're gonna make sure you pay your taxes now.
you can go to the embassy and you can get that information.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, you don't want to get in trouble with the IRS while you're in Kenya for sure.
Mhm.
They'll come over here too. A lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you
the
got
other
to do a 1099 when you open a bank account.
yeah.
Yep.
So all the banks in the world basically have to report to the U.S. If there's an American citizen open
Yeah.
up a bank,
So,
a bank account, they're going to report it. There's
that's
only
where
one
your
country, I can't
Kenyan,
remember what it is. They decided to refuse to do that. That's not
that's
in
where your
Africa.
that's where your Kenyan partner come in.
Nah,
No, it's
nah, man.
loopholes.
Eh,
It's loopholes.
nah. You don't want to do that. When you
Not with
relinquish your
banking.
U.S. citizenship, that's when you can stop paying the U.S. taxes.
Right.
So ain't no way around it.
Not unless you what's the real word for that? Relinquish. Well, it's not relinquish, but anyway, when you relinquish your U.S. citizenship, and you have to pay for that, by the way, like $2,240. That's the tax. It's called an exit tax. Just to
What?
do that, to give up your citizenship in the U.S.
That's
I
one
like
thing
being
I've been trying
American.
to
I'm not
figure
doing
out
that.
too, Kung Fu, because they closed the embassy down in Burkina Faso, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
got the consulate still, but they closed all other operations. They pretty much non-existent. So I'm like, yeah, I wonder how they gonna do my business when it's tax time. I wonder what
Well, you got
because
you got H&R Block online, so you can do all that stuff. I mean, they have stuff like that. Those companies, they have stuff like that for people who are overseas.
okay,
You can even I think it's even actually on the embassy website, or it's the IRS website, that you can actually download forms if you're overseas, and they'll give you all the information on what it is you got to do.
that's what I'm saying. They closed the embassy here, closed.
No, I'm talking about their website. I'm talking about their website.
Yeah, when you go on their website, you can't even click nothing.
No. You just go to another website, like the U.S. Embassy, like in Kenya or whatever. You can download that information, but mainly you want to go to the IRS website, and you want to download all your tax forms.
So what would they do if you don't do your taxes? I wonder what would happen.
Well, if you don't pay your taxes and you're due, they can garnish everything that you have in an account, even overseas.
Damn.
And if they want to, the IRS can arrest you if they want to. Take everything you have, and then put you out on the street homeless.
Yeah, catch you at the airport. They'll damn sure catch you at the airport.
Yeah,
As
using
soon as they
U.S.
scan
tax
that
dollars to do that.
passport.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Nice, what do you do in Kenya?
Me and my wife own a couple of salons, and we own a fruit shop. So we sell fruits wholesale. We don't do any farming. We own, like in Kisi, we have a lady salon, and next to that we own a kinyozi. So I'm sure you know what kinyozi is by now. Okay, so that just means where the guys go to get the haircut. So kinyozi basically is a barber shop.
And that good massage.
I don't have hair.
Hey, they can shine the scalp. I'm telling you, they can, some of them do that. I swear.
Hey, they massage your head.
Yeah, a lot of them do that. Yeah, a lot of them do that. And actually, some of the men come into our kinyozi in Kisi because we have one of the ladies from the salon working over there. And it's a big thing in Kenya. The men like the women to do their hair, but also the women have a lot of men doing their hair in Kenya. So I don't know if you saw that. If you go to a lot of women's hair shops,
and nails.
Yep. Yeah, there's money in it.
I know. I'm like, that's crazy. How do you feel about managing the business and everything, especially, I guess that's remote if it's in Kisi?
Well, my wife's in Nairobi. So in walking distance, we have a shop, which is also in the middle of some of that protesting. Because, most of that protesting, if it's in Nairobi, it's either the CBD, which is only like usually a 5 square block area where the parliament is. So they're around there. And then in my area, close to it, it's called the Pipeline. I live in Feta, which is across Outer Ring Road. I don't know if you've been to Outer Ring Road yet. So that's like right on the other side, basically, of the airport. Outer Ring Road actually touches the fence to where the airport fence is, and it ends right there, goes in a loop.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, there's a Matatu station called Feta Stage. That gets a lot of political tension with what's going on right now with Ruto and everything, with the tax bill and all that other stuff. Bloggers getting killed. That area, and then right next to it is a housing area called the Pipeline, and our business is on the edge on the main road where Pipeline is. So in Nairobi, we're in the middle of it. We're like really getting no business. The only business that my wife and our employees are getting is like we also do remote jobs. So we go to the women's houses and actually do their hair there, and we actually charge more for that. But as far as walk-ins, right now it's slow. Even in Kisi, it's slow because the cost of living is high for the average Kenyan.
Right.
Because Ruto is hiking up everything.
Yeah.
And he's trying to tax everybody for just about everything. So where we were making good money in both salons, especially the one in Kisi, we're now feeling the struggle. The only business that does well, because it's in demand, is that we get a lot of vendors buying from us, our avocados, our pineapples and everything like that when we wholesale through our fruit shop. So she does most of the work. She's there on the ground. She's a walking distance of both our places in Nairobi. And then, she takes a trip like a few times a year to Kisi. But you know how everything is with M-Pesa and all that other stuff. We're an M-Pesa agent. We're an Airtel agent. So we make money that way. We also have an M-Pesa set up in Mombasa through basically a family member. So the wife owns a shop and she needed M-Pesa. So we opened up an M-Pesa for her. So we're making money just out of that by selling milk. That's what she does. She sells milk wholesale to people out there. So basically what I do is, I secure some of the money, the ideas, some of the promotions sometimes when we do it. I do research for my wife and stuff like that. So it's she does most of the work, but yeah, I do a little bit of work for her. But legally, if I'm in Kenya, I can't do work unless I get a KRA pin.
Right.
Right. So, and I'm not staying there full time right now anyway. So at this point, I'm just managing from a distance with her. But right now we're feeling the pain just like everybody else in Nairobi pretty much. I mean, the cost of living is what's killing the business everywhere. And people mainly are only buying food products. And when women want their hair done, they're mainly getting what we call sister locks, where you don't have to redo your hair for like 3 to 4 months. You pay once. And that's good if you have it all. But if all the women do that, then business is slow because they're going to wait 3 to 4 months to do it again. So, yeah. So what we're thinking about doing, but we need quite a bit of investment, is to be like a bank agent. Now, bank agents, even right now, are making pretty good money in Kenya. So basically, you're a dealer you're an agent for like Equity Bank, Cooperative Bank, a few banks, right?
Mhm.
And so instead of somebody going to the bank, they can go straight to your shop where you're an agent for those banks because they have some services,
Oh,
and we get a small commission, but it builds up over time. Also, you can be Airtel and Pesa agent, which we already are, to add to that. So
mhm.
you're an agent for a few different things, and then you make a lot of money. And a lot of those places like that, they're the ones right now that people are lined up because people always need to access money. They need
Yeah.
to send money. They need to receive money. If they're not doing it in Pesa, they're doing it some other way.
Exchange money.
Right.
hmm
Hmm.
Yeah, you
Interesting.
got you a
But
money spot in Africa. Yeah, you
but
in the game.
we don't have money to open up a business like that right now. But that's if we're going to open up another business, it's going to be one like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right
I
now
know
we're
a
just
lot.
right now
Oh,
we're
my
just
fault,
trying
my
to
fault,
trying to
my
make
fault.
these businesses that we have survive, so that way the people that are working for us, they also have some place to go where they can make some money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, I have noticed that too in my travels. Anybody dealing with loading money, the money thing, phone cards, man, yeah, you in the game.
I mean, M-Pesa is really interesting because everyone uses it and it's pretty efficient. But
You gotta
even
be
like I
careful.
was talking to Kai before you guys came on, is like transferring money is like a thing. Like you got to figure out like a wire transfer feels unsafe, and then you getting hit with the exchange rate. So it's definitely fintech is an interesting industry in general.
Yeah. But the
Yeah.
best way, like I told you, bro, bank to bank, send it to yourself. And
Yeah.
I would say try to pay for everything with cash, but I wouldn't pay for nothing until I get that lawyer. Just but if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
too
I'm
late,
not.
then that's just for the future.
Yeah. Right now, just dream and research. Those are two good things you could do right now. Dream and research.
Yeah. For the
Um,
whole month.
yeah. I mean, and you don't want to jump on things right away either. Once you get a lawyer, you might want to ask your lawyer, like, what are some of the best places that I can invest
Hmm.
in that I'm going to get, if you want to be close to where you're going to open a business and you want to do business, you probably want to ask them, what's the best place I'm going to get, return for the money if you're depending on the local market. Also, if you're
Right.
doing Airbnbs, well, if you're in Nairobi, it's already Westlands, Kilimani, and a couple other places
Hmm.
that are very popular, but you might still want to ask what's probably the best places to invest.
Yeah.
I have a theory about that though. Is like if you think about New York City, right?
hmm
You okay? Say 30 years ago, New York City. Would it be better to buy in Manhattan or in one of the other boroughs? It's
Depend on
Manhattan
what
all
your
day.
pockets. It de- it depends on what your
Exactly.
pockets.
But if you had unlimited money, the
Okay.
the
Okay.
right answer is Manhattan. So why even look
Yeah.
anywhere else?
Yeah, you're right.
You said
I
unlimited.
think you go, yeah, yeah. I think the only reason that you go out of Westlands is if you don't have enough money. Unless your thesis would be that, the Tattoo City type stuff, Konza, or these other situations that are going on are going to work, then maybe you don't. But I'm kind of chips all in, and on real estate, on a pure real estate investment, if you can afford it, I think Westlands. If you can't afford Westlands, Kilimani, Kileleshwa, Lavington.
Yeah. You also
Yeah.
got
I don't
like
think it's more
Upper Hill.
complicated than that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also some good locations actually, if you want to save some money in like South C and South B, it's not all like what you call it, like low income. You're going to find some spots in
Hmm.
there that's nice. Actually, let me think. There's another area I was thinking. Oh, Buru Buru. Buru Buru is also a place you might want to look into. It's not like a Westlands, but it's not like a pipeline either. So Buru Buru is a place we got family there actually. So they bought into homes like a long time ago. So there's like old homes there, that you might want to look
Mhm.
into for investment. Buru, that's B-U-R. U, and then B-U-R-U. It's just all one word.
What direction is this in from Nairobi?
Well,
What's
shoot,
like the main road? Is it Kiambu Road, Thika Road, Mombasa,
I want
Naivasha
to
Road?
say it's Mombasa, to be honest with you. I'm not.
Southeast.
Let's see here.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's a middle class neighborhood. The estate was designed in 1974, so it comprises of 6 phases, and 5th completed middle class in the 1980s. Let me look on the map and see what I can see.
Eastlands, Nairobi.
Outer Ring Road. Yeah. Outer Ring Road. Same road that goes through my neighborhood. That's the main road.
Yeah, so part of this trip for me is to explore more of the outskirts in each direction, especially along Mombasa Road, because that expressway was announced. And then being in between Mombasa and Nairobi makes a lot of sense for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, I'm thinking long term. This is not anything now, but if I'm doing a farm or whatever type of business, you want to live near it. So then it might be a good business use, but it might not be where you want to stay. So this is kind of what I'm exploring on this trip that I'm on. And also, Discount Hub is complaining because there are very serious protests going on and a lot of stuff going on. And I could see why you think it's insensitive, but at the same time, like, we can't get involved in Kenyan politics. So I have a lot of thoughts about it, but I'm not going to come on here on YouTube and being on a soapbox
you got
about
the right,
it.
You got the right mindset about that.
Yeah.
I'm a special exception because I'm in the middle of it. So it does affect me
I get it.
like my wife. So we're feeling it. And I don't like politics. I married a woman that doesn't like politics, but when it comes to this, we have no choice but to be aware of it and be into it to kind of like fight it. We also like the protest for the message, but we don't like the protest because there's so many goons in the middle of that. They're waiting for the best opportunity to take advantage and start looting people's businesses. And
I think you see that everywhere, in the U.S. with George Floyd. Some of the people are protesting, some of the people are breaking stuff.
Right.
But
you see, that's the negative. That's the negative part about it. They see the goons. They don't take advantage of doing that when there's no protest. See, the protest basically for these goons to break into your shop is that the protesters are in clash with the police, basically. So then they could take advantage of your shop if it's not protected.
Right.
That's where we don't like it, and none of the businesses really like it because it's affecting us. Even though at the same time, we support the Gen Zs doing these protests because it's a situation. They're not shutting up. They're fighting back. They want to get Ruto out. Everybody wants to get Ruto out, basically. But the thing is that you have the right mindset. Don't get into it unless you actually are in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thoughts of opinions of the people on the panel are their own.
Yeah.
I think somebody was saying, don't worry about it unless it affects you. But I agree, it affects everybody to some degree, and it should matter. But again, I don't want to get that much into the politics. I did want to address, I don't mean to be insensitive by the topic of our conversation. But again, we can't really be getting into the politics. So
now when you're doing business, let that smooth out.
As a guest, but we're guests. You can't come to someone else's house telling them anything about their house like that. Tunga, true. Thika Road is ideal for Ryan, 40 kilometers from Nairobi. You can have your farm business. Yeah, Thika Road is on the agenda. 40 kilometers, that's way past Riru. Is that Juja area? maybe. I could be way off, but I think that's about where that is.
Some of the biggest Kenyan YouTubers live in Juja.
Yeah, I see the land prices because I follow what is the AMG Realtors, which seems to be a pretty credible land seller. Although I'm not interested in like 1/8 plots though, so I'm not really.
You spoke about AMG. I know people have gone through them. And one thing I would still say, consult your lawyer first. So that way, here's the main thing. I have to bring it up because people will bring up company names, right? Like somebody brought up Kingdom Precast, right? Kingdom Precast is the one I would go for if I'm doing precast concrete homes. I would go through that guy that owns that business. However,
nice.
I would still have my lawyer consult with him, or even CMAX that does the styrofoam. They're like an Italian company, I believe, in Kenya. They've been there for years. I would still have my lawyer do business with those people at those businesses. And also, but they're going to be the ones that are going to build the house. You don't want anybody to just build your home. You don't want to hire just any fundies, at the job corner, where everybody's standing, right?
Right.
Because some may specialize, in making stairs, but they can't make a wall good. Some can make walls great, but they can't build stairs great. And so you want to get somebody like Precast, like Kingdom or CMAX, but still you want your lawyer to look over all the paperwork for the contract for doing the job of building your home, if that's what you plan to do.
For sure. I mean, this is where I have experience because I've flipped houses and do some construction. And I mean, it's the same thing, right? Some contractors are good at certain things and not others. So you just kind of got to know what people are good at and whatnot, because they'll all tell you they can do it, but it's not going to come out good because the painters will be like, oh, we'll do your trim. No, you will not.
Yeah. Like I'll build your wall, but you find out later they didn't put the iron rods for support.
Yeah, no rebar.
Like 2 years later, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
That's
So that's why you got to know you can't just even in the U.S. really in construction, especially, you should have just hired a company and not pay attention to what's going on because that's
you got to be on site. Yeah, got to be on site.
It's naive to think that even again in the U.S. I would still check on the job site. Like that's crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've owned a house before in Spokane, and I bought it. Right, it was a house that was moved from one location up the hill.
Oh wow!
And they built a basement that matched the whole square footage, and they added an extra extension, like a bathroom and a bedroom. Right. What I didn't find out is that when you go down in the basement, you can see the outside a little bit where the house came down on the foundation. So they didn't seal it. Right. And I only had a 1-year warranty on the foundation. So as soon as I turned on my sprinklers one day, there was water everywhere in the basement because it was getting in through there. So they had no flaps and it wasn't sealed. It wasn't caulked.
Right.
And not only that, some places where the foundation, because I mean, it was brand new, right? But I started getting water through the walls, like in so many different locations. I was like, I had to put on something called block rock or something like that. It was this white stuff. It's like $80 a 5-gallon bucket just to fill in, paint it on there to seal in, right? Man, I'm telling you, they came down, and the guy that came down, he was the one that built the foundation. And they said my land in the back was filled with fill. I didn't know what fill was until he started digging on the side of the foundation. The shoe came out, a block of bricks came out, some jeans came out, something like that. But now I know what fill is, right? I was glad I didn't grow any garden in the backyard. But anyway, that guy didn't want to be there. He was kind of doing a shoddy job. I know he knew what he was doing, but he just didn't want to be there. Like his heart wasn't into it, right? And this is an American, so you always have to be careful. Yeah, you always have to be careful, bro.
Yeah. I've had contractors that have done multiple jobs, and then I don't know, he gets a divorce or he gets a DUI or something, and all of a sudden he starts acting crazy, and you got to get rid of him. So I mean. It happens all over the place, So it's funny because everyone is like, oh my God, be careful of this, be careful of that. and it's even more heightened in if doing business anywhere in Africa. But I'm like, you do still have these problems in the U.S. I mean, there is insurance, and the legal system works better to be able to go after people, but the best policy is to avoid any of these problems if you can. And there are a lot of things you can do to avoid problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the lawyer that I have in mind and what Cuddy was referring to, now she told me one time, and it makes perfect sense. She's like, okay, if you hire somebody, or excuse me, if you buy land from somebody, like a company, or you hire somebody to build your house, like Kingdom Precast, right? There's a business that's already established and registered. So if they ever rip you off, there's a business that's available that can be found,
Right.
that can be sued. If you go with somebody that you don't know just off the street, basically, or at a party, and do all these same
Good
things,
luck.
no registration, nobody to be found, nobody to be sued.
Yeah, same as the U.S. I mean, also, like, that's what I say about the off-plan developers is, like, if these developers plan to be here for a long period of time and have been doing a lot of projects, they have something to lose with like a lawsuit or something. But if they're brand new, who cares, you know? Also, if you sue somebody that don't have any money, it doesn't matter anyway. You could win and you won't get anything.
Right.
So,
Well, that's the thing about
that's
Africa.
why. Because with Lloyd, go ahead.
Hey, one thing I can say about Africa: if somebody do you wrong, and they owe you some money, they're gonna be in that jailhouse till you get paid.
That's true.
And one thing I can say, they gonna be in that jailhouse until you get paid. Yeah. So it all but depend on how bad they want to get out that jailhouse. So that's one thing I can
If
say
you got
that
the right
Africa
connections.
on America. See, America, you gotta go through the process. Africa, shit, yeah,
And they'll never put them in jail for money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But having a good relationship with the police, it's probably a good thing to have.
Oh, that's another thing too. After you get your lawyer, you go to your local police department and ask to speak to the head in charge, and you build a relationship. Got them on speed dial. You got any problems?
Yeah, give him like $1,000 retainer.
Yeah.
Not even that
Bring
much.
them some lunch.
Just buy them some lunch. Buy them some lunch. Give them one of them iPhones. You in the game.
1,000 plus right there.
You in the game.
Nah,
so,
but no, go ahead, Cuddy. Go ahead, Cuddy.
Get you a police friend too, high ranking. Get you one on your team. That's one thing I got in Burkina Faso. Get you a police, because not all of them got good integrity, but that's the closest. Them the closest people, because they take oaths, military, police. People that's supposed to be.
People are people, man. There's good people. There's bad people.
Yeah, but get you a police friend. Yeah, get you a good police friend too. After you get you a good lawyer, so that way you got any problems with a boater or any of them. I'm over here. Hey, yeah, I got some problems.
All right.
And you good.
I feel you. Well, guys, it's 3 a.m. here. I'm going to try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Hopefully my day tomorrow.
Right. Yeah, shake that jet lag off.
Yeah, it's bad. I shouldn't have went to sleep earlier today.
Nah, you good, bro. Let your body, your body get used to it. But thank you, Ryan.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too, bro. We gonna be in touch. You're on the continent now, so we're gonna try to make sure you got a smooth. You know what I'm saying?
I've been lucky so far, so we'll see.
Yeah,
and
just keep
Mr.
your head
Nice.
on swivel.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate the information. Thank you for sharing.
No problem.
Super insightful, especially as running businesses and being married to a Kenyan and proximity to the protests. Shoot me the lawyer's information if you could.
So can I reach you? Well, I'll also shoot you that database, so you can even check her out on that database, and you'll see exactly what she specializes in, and you can see where people. Because a lawyer in Kenya has to renew the license every single year.
Oh, okay.
And so there'll be like a green check or whatever if they're up to date. But also let you know
Okay.
everything and what she's going to specialize in. So one thing she doesn't do is like criminal law. She doesn't do that.
Okay.
But yeah, can I get a hold of you through like say IG, through your YouTube or?
Yeah, yeah. IG is good if you want to send me a message.
Okay, let me see your live
I'll
here.
type it in here.
Okay.
All right, salute Ryan, salute Kung Fu, and
Hey,
good luck
Cuddy,
on y'all
thank you.
all y'all endeavors.
Yes, sir. Stay in touch, man.
Oh
That's
yeah, for
cool.
sure, most definitely, most definitely.
All right, stay safe. Mr. Nice, there's my IG.
I just found you.
And for
Great.
everybody else, if y'all want to follow, whatever.
All right, I just sent you a message saying hello, so we can start
Yeah,
from there,
let me
and then
grab
I'll
it
get that
from.
information. I'm getting ready
Let me
to
grab
head to
my.
work anyway, so
Okay, I'm getting off
um,
too. Thank you so much.
yeah, no problem. Take it easy, and you know, just be aware of one thing. I would definitely recommend that you do is be aware of the cost of anything that you buy in Kenya as it fluctuates,
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
it can fluctuate faster in Kenya than it can in America.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
That makes sense.
Even though the exchange rate is going to be different for us, as long as we have
Hmm.
the money, but still you want to conserve just in case.
Yeah.
You can live kind of frugal, and I would recommend doing that while you're in Kenya,
Hmm.
and always have an exit plan.
Absolutely.
So,
Right.
all right, bro.
I'm with you.
I'll talk to you some other time. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you. All right, guys. Hopefully that was. When you bring guests on, you never know what's going to happen. I think that was pretty cool. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Thanks for keeping me company with my jet lag. Again, I do not mean to be insensitive about what's going on in Kenya, the protest. It's just not exactly our place or platform to be talking about politics as a guest here. Again, I have plenty of thoughts and feelings and empathy and understanding, I promise. Um, but again, it's not something that I think I should be talking about personally. So you guys have a great night. More, these lives are just for fun. I'll be having some more produced, edited videos coming out shortly, hopefully sooner than later. But I got to get over this jet lag because I'll be tired. All right, Dennis, thanks for hanging out with us. Always appreciate the input. I was reading your stuff about the comparison with Dika Road and Mombasa Road. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks. See ya.